Alan! Hey everybody, it's Alan at the CA House Music Store in St. Clairsville, Ohio, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about extended range basses. More specifically, is an extended range bass right for you and what you need? So first of all, let's talk about what is an extended range bass. So, anything that has more than the standard 4 strings that we're used to for electric basses would qualify as an extended range bass. I have in my hands here a 6 string, so definitely an extended range bass. 5 strings, same thing, extended range. Some people make 7 strings, 8 strings, I've seen 12 strings, I've seen more. All of them are extended range basses. And just in case you were thinking that was an electric only sort of a thing, for hundreds of years bass viols have been made with 5, 6, 7 strings, so hey, nothing new under the sun. Now let's talk a little bit about what you get, what is added when you have an extended range bass. So, the regular 4 strings on a bass are E, A, D, and G. So, usually, when you add a 5th string, it's a string below. So, below the E, we have a B. It gives you an extra 4th on the bottom of the instrument. Now, with a 6th string, you keep the 5 that we already have, E, A, D, G, B on the bottom. This instrument has, on the top, a C. So, instead of just these 4 strings in the middle, we now have an extra 4th on the top and an extra 4th on the bottom. Now, although very few people make 7-string basses, usually they're going to add another string on the top, so it would go B, E, A, D, G, C, F. It's a little crazy, and I actually don't know anyone who owns a 7-string bass, but hey, they make them. So, let's talk a little bit about why you might need an extended range bass. Well, in this day and age, a lot of pit playing, for instance, a musical, a theater piece, something like that, is going to call for that extra range on the bottom. I myself have played quite a few shows that have notes written that are lower than the lowest E on a regular 4-string bass. So either your options would be to detune your instrument so you can reach the low notes, in which case it would throw off your years of practice on the fretboard, or get yourself an extended range instrument. So that's one advantage. Another is that you just get a lot more colors. Because you have a thinner string up here and a thicker string down here, it gives you colors and it gives you options. So if you want to play a low E on a 4-string bass, that's the only option you have. If you want to play a low E on a 5, a 6-string bass, you can also play it there. Cool or what? Also, the higher you get, the more options you have. Here's an A, here's an A, here's an A. It gives you options to get around the fretboard a little bit faster and a little bit smoother. And as a bass player, smoothness is key. So, sounds pretty great, doesn't it? Are there disadvantages? Honestly, yes. Some of them more serious than others. One of the big problems you're going to have, especially if you have smaller sized hands, fortunately, I'm equipped with slightly larger sized hands, but if you had smaller hands, this is a really, really wide neck to get your hand around. So, if you were up here in the instrument, and you play with good technique, keep your thumb back, you've got a long way to reach to get to that bottom string. So, that can be a comfort problem. Another comfort problem is usually the weight. Because of the extra strings and the extra wood that is needed to make this instrument work, it's heavy. Believe you me, if you're playing a 2-hour, 3-hour show, you might be really tired compared to if you just had a 4-string bass. And then one more disadvantage is you have more room for mistakes. So one of the things that might happen is you're used to playing along and you know what's going on, but you're used to the top string being a G. Suddenly you reach for a G, and you get a C instead. It can create a lot of funny problems, especially if you're used to playing only a 4-string. Suddenly adding extras is gonna give you some trouble. Now, one other thing I hear a lot is, well, extended range basses, aren't they more expensive? Not necessarily. We actually have quite a few extended range basses here for less than some of our 4-string basses. It depends on the build quality. If you want a 4-string bass, there are tons of instruments that are in low price brackets and high price brackets, and the same goes with all of the extended range instruments as well. This bass is used, it came in on trade, and you can walk out the door with it after tax for just about $400. So, if you're interested in an extended range bass, come on out to any of our 4 locations if you're interested in playing this bass. It'll be hanging on the wall here in St. Clairsville. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.